Well, let's move to brownfield sites because there are a lot of areas in Douglas, aren't there? You'll admit it, you've said it already,
Yes.
that are unsightly.
Yep. Yep.
Why don't we have building work going on there and new development there rather than it going out of Douglas?
Oh, well, I had a very interesting meeting last week with Bill Shimmons, MHK, who's just managed to get Tynwald to support his proposal for a select committee looking at brownfield sites. And I was really pleased listening to him because we were singing from the same hymn sheet that to get some of these brownfield sites developed, you've simply got to look at some incentives. That's what is going to be required. I made a call a couple of weeks ago for the likes of the government to compulsory purchase the Villiers site. That site now has been vacant for over 20 years. And I wasn't calling for government to develop it. I just feel such a strategic site and the shop window to the Isle of Man, if the government had control of that, when someone comes knocking at the door looking to do a new development within the island, they could say we've got this fantastic site available and then give them the incentives to develop it. Because again, we've heard so many people have been talking about developing that site, but for one reason or another they've all walked away, and I've been involved with at least 3 that have come and talked to the council, but for whatever reason it's not happened, they've gone. So I think incentives, and that could be tax breaks, it could be some sort of a reduction in rates for a period of time, fast track planning. They're the sort of incentives I think have got to be offered to some of the developers to develop these brownfield sites. And I think also make it a bit more difficult for them to develop out of town greenfield sites.
People will say, though, won't they, that it's all very well developing these brownfield sites, but you've got recent developments, office space that's empty at the moment in Douglas.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying fill the brownfield sites with office space. Why not bring more people into the town to live? Because that just boosts the whole economy of the town. We did a study a couple of years ago in relation to the nighttime economy. It's about nearly non-existent in Douglas now. The pay Friday of the month is very good. Other nights of the week, you can drive past premises, there's next to nobody in there. If we had more people living in the town centre, that nighttime economy would build, and that would then create investment in its own without the need for the council or government to be bringing that investment in. So let's not just turn around and say these sites should just go for office developments. Let's think out of the box. Could a site be developed for housing? Could some of the empty office blocks, there's a large one now empty at the end of Athol Street, would that be suitable for converting into apartments, for example? They're the sort of things we really need to think about for using these sites. And the other thing I am pleased to see they're now saying is there's going to be a limit to the time that anybody can use these brownfield sites for level car parking. Because as long as those owners are getting an income off that site through car parking,
there's no incentive.
There's no incentive. And I'd go one stage further. I'd be putting a charge on the site, and every year it lay empty, I'd put a further charge on it. And if it got to the stage where that company couldn't afford to pay the charge, we'll sell it. Don't be sitting on to speculate in years to come. You're dragging the town down. And I think it needs to be a bit more robust action to force them to do it.